Yeah, we always have assigned seats too.
Yeah. We're assigned seat people. I fear change. All right.
Well, you're a Westminster grad.
All right, so on this episode of Retro Wednesdays, we're looking at one of my favorite games growing up as a little kid, Kung Fu. I don't know, Brett, did you ever own this one?
Yeah. I mean, this is a, $3 game?
Yeah.
So, I had it. I definitely had it.
I'm just gonna, I don't know, for some reason. All right. Maybe the music, I always forget if the music starts beforehand or now. It's actually also an IREM game, and I don't know any other games that IREM's ever done.
IREM. They did R-Type. They did...
R-Type? I didn't know that.
Well, that's the big one.
Yeah.
IREM did a lot of stuff. Actually, it's interesting. In the arcade, if you look at most R-Type machines, not that this has anything to do with this game, but most of the R-Type machines that are original were actually converted Nintendo VS.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Or at least the ones that I've seen. Maybe it's not across the industry. But this is one of those games, in my opinion, where when you're young, you can't grasp the concept of this game. Because it seems very arcadey in the sense that you can't beat it.
Right. Like, I never knew there was an ending to this game until way later.
And you just don't... Like, there's a puzzle element at the end where, you know, you have to figure out how to beat the boss.
Right.
And so those sorts of things were tough, at least for me, to grasp.
My thing with this game was that it's another one of those examples of, like, an actual, like, arcade port that's not bad. I mean, it's pretty faithful to the original. In terms of, like, its functionality. So, I mean, obviously it doesn't look as good. This used to be the death of me as young Sean in 5th grade. I never would be able to get past this level because I would get too impatient and I could never figure out how to jump over everything, and it was just a major pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, this is another example of, like, being impatient as a little kid.
Yep.
And not being able to do something like this. But now that you're older, you're a little bit more patient.
Oh, yeah.
And this game isn't really as difficult as you remember.
No, not at all. In fact, like, I've done it. This is like one of the first games I've ever actually beat all the way through. And I came really close one time, even though, much like everything, when I actually do something really well, the recording never came out. I got like this, like, almost to the very end without taking any damage. The only level that's actually hard is the 4th one, because it's the one with the magic and the midget guy, and I always die on that midget guy every time without fail. But the other thing that I remember about this game as a little kid was this was the game where I had my first, like, true Nintendo meltdown. Like, real bad. So the story goes, I played my Nintendo from the day that I got it, basically non-stop for, like, 5 days straight. Like, I wouldn't go to sleep. It was ridiculous. I was so addicted to it. And my parents were concerned because, you know, I have things like school and, like, you know, exercise and, like, living that I have to worry about. And I was basically just focused on playing video games. And I was really into this Kung Fu game for some reason. Mostly, I think, because it was just really easy to pick up and, you know, you move left, you move right, you punch and do stuff. It actually has some of the better voiceover stuff, because it sounds like you're, you know, doing stuff or whatever, and it doesn't sound too horrible, even though it's not the best. And so they decided to move my Nintendo and the TV into their bedroom so they could try to, like, keep an eye on it a little bit more. And I was playing this game, and I had gotten so far. I got up to the 4th level, and I was on the end of the wizard, and I beat him. But outside, I had really no idea, but there was a thunderstorm going on. And right as I got to the 5th level, the power went out, and I lost my mind. Like, I remember, like, screaming. I had never done it before, but I bit the controller and left, like, teeth marks in the side of it. I was, like, screaming nonstop. I was so mad. And then I got grounded from my Nintendo for, like, a month because my parents were like, "You have lost your tiny little mind." This is the only level that I have true struggles on anymore.
The controller blade is a classic move.
It is.
I started doing that early on, and it leaves that mark. And it's funny because you're always reminded of that time you had a meltdown because you you don't buy a new controller.
Right.
Like the controller has a bite mark on it for its entire life. So
Right.
every time you play, you're like, oh yeah, that's the time when I lost my fucking shit. So
I hate this. Sorry, I stopped talking because this part I suck so bad. Son of a bitch. I die all the time on this guy. I might not even be able to do this all the way through this time. It might take me like a warm up or two. Try to spam way out.
another aspect of this game that I really like is the rapid fire
Oh yeah.
thing, which I don't think a whole lot of games did. You know, there's always a recovery, there's always a cooldown, there's like activation frames or whatever you want to call it.
That's true.
In this game, it's just like as fast as you can push the button, so you never feel like, at least in my opinion, when you die in this game, you never feel like, oh, it's because the computer messed up. It's because I didn't do what I was supposed to. Except for the boss
that is very
fight.
true. The boss fights sometimes are a little weird with that
These
stuff.
hitboxes are a little weird.
Hey, look at that, I did it. And I mean, there's even ways around it, like, if you see, like, my tactic is you go in with a leg sweep and then you just duck back out once you hit him a couple of times, and it works most of the time. The only one that's tough is that one, and it's only because the only way you can hit that guy is you have to kneel and punch him, and you have to get really close, so it's hard not to dodge, to dodge all the shots to the face and whatever. And I also learned that there's certain times where if you punch him and his head falls off,
Yeah.
you are frozen and he will jump back, and it's almost like a guaranteed hit because you have almost no time to react to it. But yeah, the other thing I learned about this game early on that I never knew was that if those little kid acrobat dudes that jump and try to like land on your head, I got hit by one so far. But you can block those if you just jump up in the air. They just bump into you and fall down.
And they don't hurt you at all?
Yeah, see?
Oh, look at that.
I never knew that. When I got back into like playing this game, I learned that, and I was like, wow, all those years of frustration if I just press the stupid up button.
How do you know when they're going to do that?
You don't. That's the only part. It's like pure reactionary.
So is there a difference between punching
Sure.
and kicking in terms of
Just points. is the only
so you
difference.
get more points for using a punch then?
Correct. Yeah. It sort of varies it up. Plus, it's kind of fun to punch people in the dick and knock them off.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just screwing around.
I think everyone probably notices this, but when you kill a boss, it makes a pretty weird sound.
It is. Gives you the bong. Now to beat this guy, ultra cheat move. Just get to the spot where he is and just do this, and eventually he'll just kill himself.
Okay.
Oh, he got me one time.
So this
Anyway.
this game is it the kind of thing where you have to beat it twice?
No, you can actually beat it an infinite number of times. You see that little like kind of laughing because he looks like he's kind of high dragon next to my dudes who has a different hair color than my main character for some reason. Every time you beat it, you get one dragon. I don't know what that means, but you can just play it an infinite number of times. Now there is a difference between game A and B. I'm playing A right now, which is apparently easier. I've never really played B that much. But I've heard that game B is like way harder for some reason. Like you take way more damage, and the guys are they can get way closer to you. They can damage you way closer.
So that's it. I mean, you beat
Yeah.
the game.
I beat the game, so mission accomplished. I wonder what my time was on it. I don't know what I think the world record for this is like 7 minutes or something. I know I wasn't even close to that because I died. But this is definitely one of my favorite games because it's really easy to play and really easy to beat and pretty easy to figure out. Like there's not a whole lot of rocket science to this one.
So are you familiar with this game in Japan?
I have never done anything with the Japanese version. I've never played it or anything.
So in Japan, this game's called Spartan X,
Yeah.
and it's the same game from what I can tell. But then they came out with a sequel.
Really? I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
need to get that.
So there's a sequel called Spartan X2, and it's got similar mechanics, but it's set in a modern setting. So it's like I think there's a level where you're on top of cars and trucks and stuff.
It's
And,
awesome. I'll have to get this
it's
game.
actually not bad. I picked it up when I was in Tokyo a couple years back, or a year back.
I'm gonna have to get it.
I'll have to bring it over so you can try it, because I feel like we should, since you can beat the first one,
Yeah.
you should play the second one.
That would be fun. I don't know if I've ever beaten this twice in a row. So maybe we can do this. My favorite enemies in the game are just the regular dudes because they're like hug me bots. They just run up and they try to grapple you. They're like, hug me.
Do they explain in the instruction manual what exactly they're doing to you?
I think there is some kind of explanation about it. Ugh. Ugh.
Makes the
this guy
same
throws
noise as when you get hit in Zelda, right?
Yeah, it's the same boomerang sound in Zelda.
Is this was developed by Irem?
Yeah.
Published by Nintendo?
I think so, yeah. I think that's what it works. Because it's a black label game. I mean, it's one of the first that ever got
I wonder
released.
I wonder what the partnership was between Irem and Nintendo. Because I've like the R-Type thing I think might have been like a collaboration somehow. So
This is interesting. Maybe I can beat it. I don't know. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I've never managed to beat this twice in a row. We'll see.
So the goal here is to do it.
As many
Second
times
loop.
as you can, yeah. That's my goal. I'm trying to do a victory lap.
Okay.
See if we can do it. I always felt kind of weird beating up those little acrobat guys because, like, why am I knocking out little kids? It's weird. And the sushi chef who throws knives. It's cheap. You do have to hit the knife throwing guy twice. Not that really matters.
Pew.
This is the best move. The duck and kick is just the best.
Also, when you move back and forth, it's instantaneous, which I thought was good.
Yeah. I should have mentioned if you just jump into those dudes, the acrobat guys, you don't get any points. But if you jump kick them, you get points. There we go.
I mean, it's almost like a rhythm game.
It is. It is very like DDR-ish, I guess. My only it's just these two bosses. I would say that this level 3 boss can sometimes be tricky, especially if he does that a whole bunch of times because he
one straight
wrecks you.
kick and he ruins you.
Yeah, you get like 3 hits on that. It's a shame because he usually laughs when you kill him.
Do you know the names of these bosses?
No idea. I only know the last guy is Mr. X, because that's what's cool. Which is weird, because I wonder, because you said this game in Japan is Spartan X, right?
Yep.
I wonder if that was like an homage. What?
I don't know. You know how Japan does it? The
Yeah.
names of the game sometimes don't make any sense.
Yeah. Dracula X Rondo Blood Movement 3 Opus 9 or whatever it was.
I mean, this game has nothing to do with Spartans at all.
Yeah, I don't know why they would pick that. There you go. I think my cat just fell off the couch downstairs. It's kind of funny. I just heard like this rustle. Alright, let's see if I can do this. I've seen some guys who are able to... Ah, there we go.
So you gotta get inside on them.
Yeah, you gotta, like, the trick... I've seen some people who do speedruns of this, and their trick is to get, like, a hardcore jump kick in, and it takes half his life away, which is how you speed through it. You know what else is quite unique about this game? I can't find... I'm gonna look really hard this time, but I can't find a single turd reference.
Oh
I got
my God.
nothing. I mean, it's a
There's
blue
gotta be
background. There's
something.
there's
There's gotta
barely
be
any
something.
brown. Ugh, God, I hate those things.
There's gotta be some kind of fecal thing going on.
There isn't. I mean, maybe we could say the butterflies are like attracted to poop or something.
It's the Japanese symbol for poop right up there.
Is that? Oh, that's it. Mystery solved. Turds. Okay, we did it. I like how I killed that guy by jumping the wrong direction. Yeah, you can tell like the enemies are suddenly way more annoying now, and they come after me a lot more. Oh, fuck. Son of a bitch. I hate that wizard. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this now.
Hey, man.
I got one more shot. Oh, the only other thing I hate about this game is you only get 1 extra life per game, which is really lame. It should be based off of points.
So you get an extra life when you complete the game.
No, you can get, like, it's a certain number of points, but it only happens one time. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like 50,000 points or something, and you get 1 extra life, and that's it. If you get another 50,000 points, it means nothing. Which is really kind of, it's like, it is admittedly a very big flaw in this game, because I'd be able to do way better if I wasn't constantly getting ripped on. Fucking hell.
That damn controller.
Yeah. You wanna give it a shot?
I mean, you beat it already. What's the
It's
point?
alright. Try it.
What's
It's
the point
fun.
of playing it?
Sick of playing it. Giving it a shot. I like watching Brett play crappy
I'm
games.
playing B now.
Oh, you're playing Beast, now you're not fucking around. B for Brett Bretterson.
People aren't supposed to know my name.
The symbols on each floor are different. Maybe that one's from California or something. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's what it means. I think I can get through the levels no problem, but I don't know the boss strategies.
Really, the best boss strategy I have is get close to them, duck and kick a couple times, and then back out. Because they're slow to react, usually.
They start running and then they like flail their arms.
They bring their
right at the
arms
last
up,
second.
like, with impending excitement. Yeah, see, you can just do that, just keep ducking down. Spam that leg, son. Give him the snaky leg. Shut the fuck up.
That's me, man.
I even like the music in this game, which is pretty rare.
The controls are pretty good. They feel,
Yeah,
especially when you consider this game was released in '85.
Yeah, it's the year it came out. I mean, it's a release game. So those things break out into 3 little chunks. You got to jump over those.
Whoa.
Damn, you got ripped by the
Oh,
snake.
because Game B is like super
Yeah,
crazy.
you take like no damage. You can take no damage,
Whoa, I get 2 hits?
basically. This is legit the hardest thing because it's like I would say the one movement in this game that's weak is the jumping.
Shit.
Yeah, you just gotta jump over them.
How do you know if
snake
it's going to
ones.
be a snake?
The snakes have the little. Those are dragons. The green things are the green pots are snakes, and the little. Here, I can do it. The little dangling turd nuggets, the dingleberries, they shoot out three prongs. Let me give a shot on Game B. I've like literally never played it so much. In B at least. This is a short retro Wednesdays, which I don't mind because it means I have to edit less.
If you can beat it on Game B,
You're not fucking around.
I'll give you 1 date with Kinky Joe.
Yikes. I did see one guy, although I don't call people out on YouTube videos because I don't really care. And I watched this video of this one dude who did a Game B no damage run, which is crazy. Come on, man. And so I messaged him about it, and I was like, "What's your tactic to like do this?" Because I said like I've been playing this game for a long time, and I think I consider myself okay at it. I mean, I'm not like a speed runner or anything, but I was like, I've never seen anyone do that much damage to like the bosses, and like I couldn't figure out how he was doing it. And I found out he was using slow-mo and save states in order to do it.
Well, normally they say that they use
Yeah,
that tool.
this person did not, and I was kind of really annoyed by that because I felt like it was kind of a little. It was dishonest. I mean, it's the only way to put it was that it was like I knew something was up. Like I knew he was definitely using an emulator because like if you look at our video, like you can see that I'm using a top loader, which is why you see the scan lines and all that crap.
The jail bars.
Yeah, and you know, but you could tell that like there was like it was almost like the video was it was recorded in HD, like it was so good.
Right.
Oh, that's so cheap. Dropping snakes on my head. Come on now. Oh, that was some cold shit right there. That's what that was. Now I gotta do it all over again. Ugh.
Getting impatient.
There's the dingleberry. Plop. Fuck, man. This part is so not cool.
It's a little bit more like real life.
Yeah, this would be like this is what it would be like if I decided to just break into some dojo and start kicking ass and taking names, minus the kicking part, because I would just get my ass kicked.
I think I could take out a few snakes.
The problem with this part is that this part is completely random. So sometimes you'll look out and get like one snake, and then the next time you'll get nothing but snakes. Or dragons or whatever, it doesn't matter.
I keep seeing symbols at the top.
Yeah, I wish I knew what they meant.
I don't know what they mean.
They meant you
Are they
pick-
Chinese?
I don't know. That one says you pick game B and you fucked up. All I know is my main character is in incredible shape.
Kill him. Nice.
I'm gonna be so pissed if I die before I get to the end of this.
They have to do that, don't they?
Yeah, they have to
make a
put all
little thing
those
at the
guys to
end,
make it just a little bit.
just so they can fuck with you. Because
Yep.
that one time you forgot, the knife man comes.
This TV would get thrown over the balcony if that happened. Like I got all the way to the end and it was like I got to get to the stairs and the knife guy hits me in the back of the leg. I would be there. This whole place would just be burned in the ground. I'd be so furious. For whatever reason, this game always gets under my skin.
You know, I never thought of it, but the first level, you move left,
Yeah,
which is not
and so on the third one too. I didn't. Yeah,
which
That's
is not
interesting.
normal, right?
yeah.
Especially for a game this old.
Especially for like a game that was limited by like one of the first games they programmed for the Nintendo.
So they thought outside the box with this one. They were like,
Yeah.
we need to throw something in there.
And even though it's probably just considered a sound effect, like the human sounds of like him throwing things, and I'm knife sandwich over here. But like I don't remember that like a game having this much sort of human like voicing in ever. I mean, there's my extra life. I'm gonna need it because this is not. Ugh.
Whoa. What a douche. Running
He
away.
does that thing where he like jerks the screen off and then turns around at the last second. Oh, gotcha.
I wish they expanded on this a little bit and made like maybe a platforming area.
That would be fun, like jumping.
Because you're always in the same plane. which
Yeah,
is-
it's true. Yes.
Nice.
And here's where I die a hard. Oh, see that right there. That would have been.
Does a knife kill you in one shot now?
I don't know, but it probably will mess me up pretty bad. It will put a hurting on me. But yeah, this game is really fun and really cheap, and I always joke around that if there's a game, like if someone came to me and was like, I really want to play Nintendo, and I've never played Nintendo in my entire life, this would be a game I would give them because it's super
Really?
easy. Yeah, because it's super easy to pick up, and I think it's fun. Oh my god, I just got ripped.
You're saying one of the games that you'd show them.
Yeah, this wouldn't be like the only one, but I would definitely put this one on the list. Getting nervous now. Controller's starting to creak with some fervor.
That's actually an interesting thing to think about. Like if someone was like, I've never played Nintendo before, which could happen.
Yeah, no, I mean I have
What game would you pick?
in-law cousins who, they're really young. They don't. Oh, God.
You
Fuck
ducked
you
and he
with
was
that
like, nope.
stupid laugh. With that little bitch laugh. But like, they're way younger than us, and they're like, yeah, I don't know what Nintendo is. Like when they came to visit the one time, the oldest one, he knew Sonic and really wanted to play Sonic the Hedgehog and never played it before. And I was like
You
blown
let him
away.
play it, right?
Of course. And he loved it. And it was brilliant. And he didn't have to pay for DLC, and he didn't have to worry about buggy PC ports.
Did you have to download an update before the game started?
No, there's no patching.
No?
It was wild.
Do you have to authenticate with some server first?
No.
Do you have to do some button remapping?
Nothing.
Do you have to play a tutorial?
Son of a bitch! No. With that damn laugh. Alright, I'm gonna beat it one more time with Game A, and then I think I'm done. Unless you want to play again.
No.
You go.
I like the game.
I do. I mean, it's just, as anyone watching this could see, there's not a whole hell of a lot to discuss when it comes to this game. It's pretty straightforward.
I don't know why they didn't release the second Kung Fu. I mean,
Yeah, I would have loved that.
everyone had the game, so it sold.
I would love to. I would love to play it. I think that has to be another Retro Wednesdays very shortly.
Yeah, just remind me. I'll bring it.
Yeah.
Actually, funny thing is about this game, there's a few game stores in the one area we were staying, and
In Japan, you mean?
in Japan,
Oh, cool.
and I would go in and I can't read Japanese, so I don't understand how alphabetical order works in their language.
Yeah.
So it was really like either me looking through everything or asking the clerk, "Do you have this game?" So for the first couple shops, I looked through every game, and it was really fun because it's been a long time since I've looked through a stack of games and wanted so many of them.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah.
first start collecting, there's so many games that you want, and now that you're pretty well established, you have most of the games you want. So it's really like I'm looking for a gem.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like my 20 games that I can't find.
Right. Or
Well-
that one super rare or whatever.
Right.
You know, it's gonna cost you $1,000.
So I went into the store and I asked the clerk, I said, "Do you have Spartan X2?" And he said no. So I said, "Okay." So like the day before we came back home, I stopped back at the same store just to see if they got anything new. And literally they had this game on the shelf.
Holy
they,
crap.
They had just gotten it while I was there.
That's awesome.
So, and because what I need to do is I need to look up the game and see what the label looks like. Because I
Right.
can't read
Yeah.
a
You
whole
can't
lot.
read it, so you don't know.
I can read a little, but not a whole lot.
Right.
And I found that in that area, prices varied a lot, especially not only between stores, but within stores, and also condition really made a difference.
Oh yeah.
So, some of them were like $5, and some of them were 20, just because the condition was better.
Interesting. You don't see that as much. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like the game stores that I go to, like the game costs almost the same unless there's like considerable, like the label's missing or something like really
Right.
crazy. But even like there's like this is probably a bad example, but there was a store that that used to be near my house, and I used to love to hate going there because it had such great selection. But the owner tended to be pretty adamant on its prices and refused to negotiate and tended to price everything based off of like a mint condition first release or whatever. Like, it's like a Mario Brother. Like he priced his Mario Brothers card based off of the one that like, Shigeru Miyamoto autographed or whatever.
Right.
And like I remember going in there and I don't know, for some reason I wanted to buy a copy of Wall Street Kid because I thought it was such a ridiculous game that it has to be a Sean game because it's just stupid.
Right.
So look at that. And I found a copy of it at his store, and the label was literally half missing, and it had been really obviously in some kind of like water damage or someone had spilled soda on it. I wasn't exactly sure. So I brought it up and I was like, I could probably get this from the guy for like, $2 or whatever. Because, it's not the most, got me. It's not the most common game, at least where I am on the East Coast. But, it's not exactly like Battletoads Double Dragon or, Mighty Final Fight. And he wanted like $13 for it. And that's exactly what the mint condition complete in-box version was going for on eBay.
Right.
I hate this guy. Son of a bitch.
I also hated that guy.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
he would
hated
pull
it
that
too.
move where he wouldn't put a price on anything, and
Yep.
you bring it up and you look it up on eBay.
Yeah, or
right in
Amazon
front of you.
or whatever. And whatever the maximum bid was is exactly what he would charge. And it used to drive me up a wall.
Yeah, he was an asshole. that guy.
Yeah, I mean, and like, you're in the used game business. Like, you gotta know, if there's anything that I've learned about, like, retro game collecting, is that you can't be afraid to wheel and deal, regardless of what store you're at. Even if you're at, like, a retail store or whatever, like, ask them what they can do, because, the games are used. They're not in perfect condition. They're, you can, and with, sorry, like, this guy takes all my concentration. And then the next time I beat him without taking any damage. Random, man. Random number generators. But, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But this store in particular, and I won't say it because, whatever, guy might be listening. He'll probably send me cease and desist orders. But like, I've never been to a store like that where I would bring a game up. I would bring up 4 games and be like, "Can you do this for me?" And he would just be like, "No, this isn't eBay. You have to pay what I say." And it's a shame because he had an incredible stock. I mean, he had so many Genesis games in box. I've never seen that many in any store ever.
Yes.
And it's a shame because they're never gonna get sold. And then he'll go out of business and they'll just get like thrown out or something. And I'm gonna go dumpster diving.
This was a pawn shop though, not a game store.
That's true. Yeah, it was. Well, it was like a used record store too, and I don't know if it was a pawn shop, but it was like it was just like a used everything store, used music store.
Looked like a pawn shop to me.
Maybe it was. I don't know, but just the stuff that he had was so cool.
Well, the cool thing about his shop was that the games were so damn expensive that no one bought them, so there'd be stacks of like
Yeah.
so many games to look through. It was more inventory than I've ever seen in one place in my life.
Absolutely. Like I've been, it's not like I've been all over the world game collecting, but I mean, whoa, you just ripped me. I'm getting ripped. Stop it. Too close, I guess. No? The tactic almost failed me.
Yeah, nice.
Oh God, run. All right. I wanted to finish it on a high note at least. But yeah, so it was a shame, but then again, like I can go to other video game stores. It's the same thing. Like I'll find even the game like this Crazy Creatures card that I have sitting out, like the label's kind of peeling off. I still had to pay like $12 for it, even though it's not in good condition. It's interesting that it changed. It's different, I guess, in other countries where I guess that stuff matters. So I don't feel like playing this anymore because it's not that long and not that engaging of a game. So I guess we can just go to final thoughts.
You want me to go first?
I can go first if you want.
All right, you go first.
All right, so final thoughts on Kung Fu. One of my favorite games, just for like pure mindless entertainment. It's not exactly like, a dark, psychodrama of a game, and there's not a whole lot of storyline other than somebody kidnapped your girl and you're about to wreck some shit to get her back. But it's fun. I think it's a really good like entry level game if you've never collected anything before that you can buy relatively cheap and get some good replay value out of it. I don't know. Usually I see it in the $5 to $7 range, and I think that's pretty fair. It's got this music isn't anything to write home to, but it's not terrible. I always think the sound effects in the game are really good, and like it's satisfying when you hit people. The boss fights can be annoying, especially that fucking shit wizard, and I hate him still to this day. He still makes me mad as hell just seeing him and his stupid little midget laugh. And yeah, it's fun. Your turn.
This game is okay. I like it. It's just not the greatest game in the world. But what one thing to note about this game is that it is short, and I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's not impossible. So if you're like me and you grew up and you never really felt like you could beat Nintendo games, and I know there's some kind of cliche about that, but I always felt like when I was young, like, man, I can never beat these games unless I cheat.
Right.
As I got older, you get more patient, you get smarter, you can beat these games. But for a while there, even when I was an adult playing on emulators and stuff, I would have trouble beating games. So games like this and Jackal that are a little bit more approachable, something that you can beat without cheating and feel good, like, I actually can do it. It'll get you like into the zone, build your confidence a little bit so that you can move on to more difficult titles. I know even like what we are doing now, I've gotten further and beaten games that I never would have before. And so it's nice to have that confidence boost and just the reflexes and all that sort of thing that comes with this. So It's nice to be able to build instead of starting with Castlevania, which is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Start with something like Kung Fu, Jackal, and then you move on to more difficult games. So that's why I think this has a place.
Yeah, I agree. I like I like it you said, like, it's an approachable game. This is the first game I think I ever beat on Nintendo when I was little. Because all the other games I had were fucking impossible. Like, I had Amagon. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Parents are setting me up for therapy.
The game's so bad. Amagon's so bad that the video messed up. The computer was like, I don't want to record
The
this.
computer can't even handle how much it sucked. It was outrageous. But yeah, so Kung Fu, if you don't own it, seriously go buy it. You can find it anywhere. There's like billions of cartridges out there. And yeah. I think actually it's funny, like when you were talking about the games that we would never have been able to beat. By the time this is published, I'll have hopefully finished editing out Predator, which is definitely a game I would have played for about 8 minutes and been like, this game is impossible to beat.
Right.
And it did take us 3 hours and a lot of cursing and frustration, but you know that's another game that like we were able to beat now that we're older. Fuck that game. But anyway, Kung Fu is better than Predator, and that's it. So until next time.
All right. Short and sweet.
One down.